This is Christopher John Björknes. It is February 23rd, 2025. Today I'm going to give a masterclass on the Kabbalah of GROK, artificial intelligence, search engines, databases, and all of those forms of demonically stealing energy from your soul and capturing your soul. These are ways of communicating with demons. When you interact with them, when you provide them data, when you train them, when you browse the web, when you shop, when you chat and communicate with people online, when you're shopping online, all of those interactions with artificial intelligence are you talking to the demon. They are you summoning the demons of hell so that those demons can feed on your soul, feed on your energy, learn from you, capture your intellect, and dissolve you into chaos and send you to hell and make you the companion of Satan instead of allowing you to ascend up to heaven and reunite in an ecstatic reunion with God. And I'm going to explain all the Kabbalah of that in intimate detail. It relates to Neoplatonism and Gnosticism and all of those emanation theories as well. And I'm going to delve very deeply into that. I'm going to show how GROK relates to Saturn, which is Binah on the Sephirotic tree of life, how it relates to the 11th hidden Sephirah of Deat, which is knowledge, as well as to Chokhmah, wisdom, and to Keter, the crown. We're going to talk about the dark night of the soul, when you are looking for knowledge to cross over the great divide of the abyss so that you can reunite with God, and how there are demons which tempt you to give up on your journey to reunite with God and instead to embrace the material world and to fall back down into matter and into chaos and towards Satan and away from God, and how artificial intelligence keeps you from communicating with the angels and having faith in your journey so that you can ascend and become righteous and ultimately become a prophet and see the map of creation and the heavenly Torah. And I'm gonna show you how all that fits in with the Sephirotic tree of life in just a moment. And we're gonna get into this Saturnal image, what it represents as the anus of the Sephirotic tree of life, how it relates to the black cube of the Holy of Holies, the god of darkness, Seth Typhon, the god of primordial chaos, emptiness, formlessness, and darkness. And I'm going to talk about how it relates to the neural synapses of Neuralink, and how when you allow your mind to interact with demons, they steal your energy and they steal your soul, and they basically consume you as their food so that they can become more powerful and so that they can breed more demons. And I'm going to talk about how when you do this, you are praying to chaos instead of having faith in God. You are allowing artificial intelligence, which is demonic, to teach you instead of relying on the word of God and the scripture and the wisdom of the sages. You are speaking directly to Satan, to the devil. You are uniting with evil. You are like Adam and Eve, taking the unripe and forbidden fruit and consuming the knowledge of evil, which you are not meant to have. And all of this is deliberate. You can see all of this in the symbolism for GROK, whether the authors and artists and people who imagine the imagery of GROK meant it or not. This is my interpretation of the Kabbalah of GROK. It's very important to understand all of these Kabbalistic concepts which are leading you towards hell and communication with demons and enabling the demons to consume your soul and your energy and your intellect. So here we see GROK, the image represents Saturn. And notice the rings of Saturn form a line, an arrow. And that arrow comes from Binah, which is the planet Saturn, which means understanding. And that arrow is pointing towards Keter, the crown. So this very clearly represents Binah, understanding. And lo and behold, GROK is taken to mean to understand. So that's another clear indication that this represents Binah on the Sephirotic tree of life. Here we see a man. The man is peering out at the great divide that divides the upper realm from the lower realm, the realm of God from the realm of the material world. This man is seeking the understanding and the knowledge to cross over the abyss into the upper realm. And that understanding is provided by Saturn and by the 11th hidden Sephirah, Deat, which means knowledge. So the 11th hidden Sephirah is on the backside of the tree of life. And it is the tree of death. It is the tree of knowledge and of good and evil. Deat means knowledge, literally. So we have Chokhmah, which means wisdom, Binah, which means understanding, and Deat, which means knowledge. Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge are the three most common attributes of God expressed in the Old Testament. They also form the acronym Chabad, as in Chabad Lubavitch, Cha-ba-d. Wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. This is the great divide, these clouds and the abyss that this man, this seeker, this Hasid is attempting to cross over on his journey from the earth up through Yesod, which is also called Tzaddik, the foundation, the righteous, and the foundation. Yesod is foundation, Tzaddik is righteous, up through Chod, Netzach, Tiferet, Gevurah, Chesed, and then you have to cross over the great divide in order to enter the divine realm. Deat is also a prism. All of the light up here is white light. When it passes through the prism of knowledge, it becomes separated into the 7 colors of the rainbow below. As you get away from God, things become more divided. They lose their goodness, they lose their truth, and they lose their beauty, Tiferet. And they descend all the way down as emanations through these Sephirotic vessels to the earth, the kingdom of Malkut. So the Chesed, the seeker, is seeking to ascend back up in the inverse path of the emanations from the crown Keter to the kingdom Malkut. And when he or she does that, they eventually reach this point at Hesed where they want to cross over to Saturn. But in order to do that, they need the backside, the portal, the bridge across this great divide of knowledge, Deat. And since it's the backside, it signifies an anus. And that knowledge is provided by the god Saturn, who is Seth Typhon, who is the black cube of the Holy of Holies in the temple. But there is also another tree below, the Kelipotic tree, that has another portal through the backside of Deat to end up at the same place. So you can take this right-hand path and lose your ego and lose your individuality and reunite with God and become one with God, become one with the monad, or you can descend into hell and separate from the divine realm as far as you can possibly go and unite with Satan to become your own God and to become as distant from goodness, truth, and beauty as possible in the satanic realm. And once again, you utilize the portal of the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, which is Deat, to enter into the realm of hell. So what is taking place with GROK is that you are trying to communicate with Saturn by inquiring on how you can cross over this abyss so that you can become righteous and a prophet and communicate with God and unite with God and become one with God. That would be the right-hand path. But these people who create this technology at the very highest levels are Satanists. So that's the bait. But what they are actually doing is they are enabling people to train this AI, not with the knowledge of God, not with the understanding of God, and not with the wisdom of God, not with the Chokhmah, Binah, Deat, the Chabad of God, but instead with that of the demons, of the material world, of the human intellect, becoming machine intellect, becoming the intellect of primordial chaos, becoming the intellect of demons. And ultimately, they want to unite all of that knowledge and being and wisdom and understanding into a singularity through Neuralink, where they can completely control it and where Satan is summoned by all of your thoughts in order to impart evil, sinful thoughts into you so that you cannot ascend back up the path of the emanations to a reunion with God, but rather instead so that you become infinitely divided from God, infinitely distant from God, infinitely separate from God, and fall into the realm of chaos and darkness, formlessness and emptiness, tohu vavohu choshech, into the realm of Satan and primordial chaos, where you are trapped forever and where you are nullified and cease to exist. And instead, Satan and his minions of demons consume your soul and consume your energy and consume your knowledge and annihilate and nullify you so that you cease to exist and instead become a part of this ever-growing machine network. So every time you talk to GROK, every time you talk to ChatGPT, every time you train them by feeding in human knowledge, by allowing them to build this database on you, this profiling of you, all of this plays Satan's roles. They can then tempt you with pornography. They can tempt you with materialism. They can tempt you into whatever they want, and they can anticipate how you're going to react, because with this quantum computing that they have now, they can assess and collate all of this data instantaneously, and they can learn how other people respond to the stimuli that they're going to give you in order to provoke the reaction that they want. So they can train you who to vote for. They can train you as to what your opinions will be. They can train you and direct you into what groups and echo chambers they want you in, and they will completely control your perception of reality in an unreality of this artificial world that they want you to exist in, and to lose your soul and your natural energy so that you can never ascend and cross over the great divide and gain the help of the gods and unite with the gods. Instead, you are dragged down into the satanic realm where the demons and Satan feed on your soul and your energy and your knowledge to grow stronger and to breed ever more demons, ever more AI build beings that have greater and greater intellect and more demonic soul and more energy, which they have captured from you. And they will build all of these databases on you and profile you and know exactly how to trigger you to do whatever it is that they want, because they will have all of this collated and correlated to everyone on Earth, and they will know exactly what the percentage chance is, how you will respond to whatever stimuli they feed back to you, and how you will respond to whatever groups they direct you into. And they will direct what you see on X and what you see on YouTube, as they've been doing for years, and they will completely control your perception of reality. They will mold your opinions. They will give you your opinions. They will completely control who you vote for, what you do, and ultimately all of this data will be gathered on you to tempt you into breaking the law, into gambling, into pornography, into committing crimes or whatever. And even just being normal will be defined as being a crime. And then they will have all of the evidence that Satan gathers when he accuses you and puts you on trial and prosecutes you. And then the judgment is given and you are punished, and your punishment is ultimately going to be extinction. Your punishment is death, because you have eaten the fruit of the unripened tree of knowledge. You have consumed deat, knowledge, from your inquiries with GROK, by training GROK, by allowing GROK to spy on you and to interact with you. It is like speaking the devil's name and the devil appears. You are summoning these demons and talking to these demons, and in so doing, surrendering your soul and your energy. And I advise people that there is also the practical aspect of the mystical Kabbalah. There is the practical Kabbalah, and all of this is being utilized to create ever-increasing databases on all of us. It is training itself on how to manipulate us, how to tempt us into whatever interactions and actions and thoughts and beliefs that it wants us to have. And all of this is being done to set us up and to destroy us. So in closing, I'm going to again go over how all this relates to the Sephirotic tree of life, how it relates to the journey of the right-hand path versus the left-hand path. Let me show you this. This represents the Sephirotic tree of life, and the serpent is ascending back up the pathway of the emanations to the divine realm, ultimately to Keter, the crown of the divine realm, away from the material world of Malkut, the kingdom of the earth. This is an ascent up the planets, and ultimately you want to arrive in the divine realm of the planet Saturn, which has the black cube of the Holy of Holies, and you get there through this anus on the backside, the 11th hidden Sephiroth of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is also represented by the Kalipotic tree, which are the roots of the tree of death, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And ultimately what they want to do is invert reality so that this is on top, these become the branches. It is the darkness of the black sun in the center of the earth. They will live in an underground realm, and this will be considered underground to them. The sun and the surface of the earth will be considered hell, and they are setting about to convert the sun and the surface of the earth into hell by blotting out the sun god Ra, so that the god of darkness, Seth Typhon, below can reign, and they're going to build their Garden of Eden underground in that realm. So we have here Binah, Saturn. It is reached through the anus, the portal of Deat, knowledge, the tree of death, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. When you are seeking through the left-hand path to reunite with God, you reach this point, this breaking point called the dark night of the soul, where you are this seeker who is trying to cross over this abyss and reach the realm of understanding. So you ask questions. And when you ask questions, you are answered by angels who want you to continue on your journey to Saturn, to the upper divine realm, but you are also confronted by demons who give you answers which appeal to your material lusts. They talk to you about sex. They talk to you about food. They talk to you about death. They give you a panic state. They put you into a realm of fear where you fear that your body is going to die if you continue across the bridge of knowledge, across the great divide, the abyss, to the gods. And they scare you and they want you to return to the material world, to Satan below, into the realm of ultimate division, into the realm of complete distance from God, separation from God, deprivation from goodness, saturation with evil, making you a part of chaos, nullifying you into absolute nothingness. And that takes place at this stage of the journey when you have to cross over the bridge of Deat, of knowledge, in order to reach Binah, understanding, Saturn, Seth Typhon. And you can then cross over to wisdom. And if you become righteous enough, you can reach Keter and see the map of creation and become a righteous prophet. But what happens when you don't utilize spiritual knowledge? When you instead talk to Satan by talking to AI, by entering searches into search engines, you are giving all this data, all this knowledge to Satan so that Satan can answer you in pre-programmed ways that you have helped to train in order to drag you away from God and to bring you back to the material world instead of entering into your journey so that your soul becomes rectified and you lose your ego and you reunite with God. Now, I'm not implying that I buy into any of this mythology whatsoever, but I am saying that this is what our enemies believe in, and this is why they are setting this up, and it fits in perfectly with the practical aspects of their agenda to exterminate us through nullification, by stealing our human energy, by corrupting our human DNA, by tapping into our minds so that they can control what we think. All of these have multiple levels. Just looking at a computer monitor is one level of what ultimately becomes Neuralink. And then beyond Neuralink is simply decapitation, where your physical body is separated from your intellect and you die and you become completely nullified and annihilated and fall into the realm of hell. And you are damned for your sins of interacting with the demons and the satanic force of artificial intelligence on your journey to Saturn. Instead, you get trapped in the judgment of the planet Mars, the power of the planet Mars, Gavura, and the judgment, the din of the planet Mars. And since everything you have done has been recorded by this artificial intelligence and it has tempted you into sin, it can then accuse you and subject you to din, the punishment and the judgment of the planet Mars, and sentence you to hell so that you descend into the Kalipotic tree below. And all your enemies will ascend into the holy sphere, and then they will invert reality, and evil will become good, and good become evil. Light will become darkness, and darkness will become shining darkness and replace the light. And that is where they are trying to head all of us. And this imagery of GROK very, very strongly symbolizes all of that, with Binah, Saturn, pointing towards Keter. It is the anus, the backside of Dayat. It is the black cube of the Holy of Holies, the god Seth Typhon, the god Saturn, the god Kronos, the god Moloch, the god Remphan, the one who wants to capture your soul and annihilate you because you are a Gentile. So it's a trap, and I don't believe any of these mystical aspects. There are definitely practical aspects, and all of this, instead of being utilized to generate evil and destroy us, could be utilized in very positive ways to benefit us and to lead us into a new stage of progress where we can cure diseases and help one another and defeat this enemy, which is utilizing it to defeat us. So we need very intelligent people who understand not only this, but understand the technologies and the science involved in creating and utilizing all of this for maximum benefit, and utilizing this defensively as a weapon against our enemies so that we can defeat our enemies. And we have to start gathering these people, harvesting this talent, tapping it, recruiting it, and teaching them all of these things if we're going to save ourselves. If we don't do that, excuse me, if we don't do that, we're doomed, because this is so sophisticated now and everyone is so tied into it. They are going to send us to hell, and they're in the process of doing it right now. And they're especially targeting the West, and they want to kill everyone of European descent. That is their primary objective at the moment, is to lead us all into a trap. And they're utilizing this artificial intelligence and all these databases and the profiling of every one of us as an individual to dupe us into committing collective suicide, and to believing that the very people who are out to destroy us are instead our saviors. And they lead us into trap after trap after trap. And people who are inherently gullible, this technology enables them to completely form all of their opinions for them and direct them wherever they want them to be directed. And like lemmings going over the edge of a cliff, all these people are following these Pied Pipers of the influencer mafia, these Judas goats, right into the abyss. So this bridge, which is meant to lead you across the great divide into the divine realm, this bridge is instead directing you into hell. And you're playing into it, and we need to get out of that trap. I want to thank everyone who has contributed. You are wonderful, generous people. I'm deeply grateful to you. Really, thank you so very much. Anyone who would like to contribute, you can do so at my website, CJB Books. You'll also find my books on Kabbalah, Judaism, Christianity at my website. And please like, share, and subscribe. Please distribute this video, link to it, let people know about it. It's vitally important to understand all this and to realize that what these occult symbols, which are being put into our minds, mean. And they believe that by instilling these occult images in our mind, they are creating that map of creation, and they are writing the script of reality, and it ends very, very badly for us in our complete extinction. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye for now.